Hey everybody, this is Brian. Welcome to Chiller Night Live. We're from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until 9 o'clock. We'll talk about all things horror, science fiction, the paranormal. Basically, you pick a topic and we'll make a show out of it. Tom says hi. Oh, hey Tom, thanks for joining us. I hope, I truly do. Everybody had a happy Easter. I know we did here in our neck of the woods, so hope everybody had a fantastic and blessed Easter day. So Patty says, hi Tom, hi all. Hey Patty, thanks for joining us. Tom says, no intro music. I played the intro, but something. It's we're doing the silent version, evidently, of the intro, but we'll see if we can get that back. Al says, hi everyone. Hey Al, thanks for joining us. Stephanie says, hey y'all, sorry I'm late. No, we just started like seconds ago. So you are good. Brian, your intro was silent again. Yes. I wonder why that is. But we won't be silent. No sirree, Bob. We will be loud and vocal and talk about things that you know, chiller maniacs would be talking about. Horror, science fiction, you name it. Anything under that chiller umbrella. And some things, maybe not even under that umbrella. So, Stephanie says, my family and I had a good and zenith Easter. Well, I'm very happy to hear that. Fantastic. Bonehead says, hey, hello, Chiller Night crew and Brian, and Miss Ava and Tom Paisley. Hey, Bonehead, thanks for joining us. Yeah, yep, we are. We had a fantastic day. It was a long day, a good day. So Dee says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dee. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Yeah, we had a pretty good day. We did something a little out of the ordinary. And that was for our dinner choice. Because for Christmas, I had thought, well, it would be kind of neat to have a goose. Every once in a while, I have a Christmas goose. So we didn't see one this year, but then about a week ago, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago by now, we happened to see one in the grocery store we were in. We're like, hey, let's get one. And even though it really, I don't know if it really fits the, the dinner theme of Easter, but we had goose Sunday as the main course. And man, oh man, that was fantastic. So just something a little different than our usual, you know. But yeah, hope everybody had a good and happy Easter. Patty says, Kolchak Night Stalker full series on DVD for $15 at Walmart. New from my store. No way! The whole series on DVD. How? So you got a DVD set? I take. I wonder how many DVDs that entire series takes up. I meant Zen. Stephanie says. Okay. Well, Zen or Zenith, whatever. I just hope that that you had a fantastic Easter day. SBC says, hello everyone. Hey SBC, thanks for joining us. Yeah, so we did pretty good. Now oh, and also I want to say, every Saturday night we're still having episodes of Chiller Night Theater every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Stream TV, streammedia.tv. That's where you can find all the frightening fun beginning at 9 p.m. on Stream TV. So, I'm sure you've seen all the episodes that we have to offer at this time anyways. So, but you know what? If you get bored, you want to see Jack Shadow, and sometimes even I creep in there every once in a while. Creeping in there as a guest host. Check it out. Won't hurt nothing. Totally free. But check it out. 4 episodes, 4 chiller movies every Saturday night. So, Patty says, sorry, got to go for a little. We just got a code. Adam here. Okay, Patty, well, well, thanks for stopping in as much as you could, and you go take care of Code Adam. Let's see. John says the night is Tuesday. The time is now, and you are welcome to Chiller Night Live. This is Crozak the Grand, and now here's your go-to host for all things horror, fantasy, and mystery. Here's Bryan Hogue. All right, thank you, Crozak the Grand, and John's given the wave emoji there. So, thank you once again, John. But it says, hope everyone had a great Easter and got to eat lots of candy. That's one thing I was missing. We don't have little kids anymore, so I can't sneak their little chocolate Easter eggs and Easter rabbits. SBC says, children are looking for eggs. Men are looking for bunnies. But it says, stay safe, Miss Pennsylvania. Yes. Isabella, my niece, she's on there sending some hearts. So right back at you, Isabella. Thanks for joining us. Hope all is well and you're having a fantastic evening. Kevin, all right. Our good friend from across the pond says, hello from Tara Vincent. Hello, Tara Vincent. Thank you for joining us. As always, nice to see you. Bunhead says, I look so forward to hearing from everyone here and the Chiller Night crew. Thanks, everyone, for being the best chat room on the internet. Thank you. Thank you. And all of you for doing exactly what Bonehead said, being the best chat room on the internet. That's cool. Hey, I'll take the compliment, and I hope you do as well, because you're all part of that. Stephanie says, tonight for dinner I did a little casserole inspired by not only my parents' Sunday dinner when they were at college, but also of The Walking Dead's Carol Spring Cleaning Casserole. Is that right? Carol Spring Cleaning Casserole. All right. Well, I remember her, was that in Alexandria, the city of, the little town there? I remember her doing something, putting something together to make these casseroles, so, take care, Pat, Stephanie says. Code Adam canceled, child found. All right. That's always good to hear. Wasn't sure what a Code Adam was, didn't know whether to ask you on here, but I think we know now. But I'm happy that was canceled. Good. But it says, if you don't mind me asking, Miss Stephanie, I love food. What did you all make? Sorry, I can't help it. I'm a hog. I love food. But it says, you ask away. All right. So, and while you're doing that, I will shamelessly put my plug in for Chiller Night, my store at the Cranberry Mall in Venango County, Pennsylvania. All right, and that is in the northwestern section of the state, Venango County. We're in the Cranberry area, not the Cranberry in Butler County, but the Cranberry in Venango County, as previously stated. We have the Witching Hour escape room. You have 1 hour. 1 hour to escape before the witch returns. Can you escape before the Witching Hour? If you'd like to try, call 814-209-8214 to book your escape room, or you can do it online at chillernight.com. And all of that stands the same for Zombie Outbreak. Escape the zombies. Prevent the zombie virus from spreading out into the entire world. Can you do it? Maybe you can. I don't know. Try it. You'll have 1 hour. 1 hour to find out. So give it a try. And also, if you don't have nothing to wear, buy a t-shirt. All right. Now you can check out. We have some interesting things there at the store. Little Funkos. What is this? These are the t-shirts. That's Jack Shadow. That's not a t-shirt. But yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. I'll mention that stuff a little bit later. Patty says, Brian sent you a picture of the DVD set. Oh, on Messenger. Oh, you did, didn't you? That's right. I forgot about that. You did send me that. Well, I'll have to put it on Let's see, Chiller Night Theater. We'll have to put it on the group page. Oh, you sent that just now. Okay. All right, so download that. We'll put it on the Chiller Night Facebook group page. If you're not a member, become a member. Do it. All right, we'll put that on there right now. I'll just put at Walmart. We'll put that on there so folks can go and check it out. All right, almost there, Patty. Post. There we go. All right, thanks for sending that, Patty. Very cool. I know there's a lot of, or several, if not many, fans of Kolchak the Night Stalker. I used to watch that show when it was on originally. Paul says, have you thought about a Manos escape room? No. Hey, Paul, thanks for joining us. Good to see you back. I have not thought of a Manos escape room. I actually have another one in mind that I'm working on. Isabella says the escape room was so fun. Ah, thank you, Isabella. That's right. You went through, I know you went through the witching hour. So I'm trying to remember if you went through Zombie Outbreak, but they were pretty fun. Everybody has a good time whether you make it through or not. Let's see. The Manos man is back, Paul says. Let's see. I'm getting a little caught up here. And if I miss over a couple comments, I am sorry. All right. Bonnie says, Paul, Manos Man is here in the house. Paul says, by the way, I saw the trailer for Star Wars Episode 10 on YouTube today. Really? I didn't know that they had a trailer. I didn't know that. Tom says, woohoo! It's glow in the dark. What is? The Kolchak picture? Oh, glow in the dark. Glow in the dark art. Ah, I see. That's cool. I didn't see. I was just trying to get it out there to you guys. I didn't notice that. That's pretty cool. But it says, glad to see you here again, Paul. You're our very own superhero. That's the amazing Manos Man. Yes, anybody who can sit and endure. I mean, watch Manos in the Hands of Fate more than one time has to have a superhuman ability far beyond that of mortal man. So, yes, you're right. You're right there, Bonehead. Very descriptive. SBC says, what sizes are the Chiller t-shirts available in? I still have some of that lockdown blubber. Oh, really? You guys, well, let's see. I don't have any Chiller Night, but for these t-shirts here, we have large and extra large. It's all the sizes I got for now because I was trying to be like, what would I most commonly sell at the store to start off? The Frankenstein ones are actually, I have one of those left. I have, like, those sold out pretty quick. And with good reason. I think Frankenstein is pretty popular. This one here, and that's not the actual, that's not even how the shirt really looks. There's slashers at the top. And that one sells pretty good too. I sold a couple of those, so that one's going pretty well. Let's see. Paul says Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver is in it. Adam Driver. Is he a Force ghost, I take it? Because I know he died. He died in the last one. So, it's called Four Loko, Bryan, my superpower. Ah, that's your superpower. Like Popeye's spinach. is Paul's Four Loko. That makes sense. Bonus says, I just wish we could find out how Miss Renee Cruz is doing. I haven't heard from her in a couple weeks now. Hope she's okay. Yeah, it's been quite a while, actually. It's been probably a good 5 or 6 weeks by now. Because she was going to have her surgery and never heard from her again. So, I don't know. I know she, goes on to a lot of different chats. So, hopefully she wanders back our way and joins us on Tuesday nights. So, all right. So, and with that being, Ava and I were going to go to, every June we used to go to something called the Midwest Haunters Convention. It was held in Columbus, Ohio. It was a huge, huge trade show for haunters, haunt owners. The last one we went to was 2014. That's okay. Then we moved, and they stopped having them in Columbus, Ohio. So they started having something called, well, they still have the Midwest Haunters Convention. They moved it to Chicago, in that Chicago area. And now they started up an East Coast Haunters Convention. That's over in the Philadelphia area. We were planning to go to that this coming weekend. It's going to be an all-weekend trade show. We were planning on it. However, the plans changed just a few days ago because I am going to be starting construction this Thursday. I've just decided I want to start this Thursday because I have lots to do. It's not just the construction. That's just part of it. So I've got so much to get done. In fact, I know October seems so far away, but for me, I'm going to be racing to get this stuff done. Once again, I thought last year I was done with it all, but then I've decided to add more to the haunt, quite a bit more. I've decided to add a third escape room, and as I'm building the haunt, the addition, I have to go through. There's a lot of stuff's getting changed, and my attempt is to convert this into a display haunt so that it can remain open throughout the whole year, not just Fridays and Saturdays in October. Although those will be the days of the regular haunt, Jack Shadow's House of Terror. The rest of the year, in October, of course, but the rest of the year, even after that, will be my plan. My goal is to have this as a display haunt. And if I can do that, then the haunt will be open all of October. Let's see. I think it's a Force Ghost, not sure, Paul says. Oh, with Adam Driver. Let's see. SPC says, with Star Wars, I have the feeling that it gets worse with each new movie. I don't know. I wondered about that. Now, of course, I hated The Last Jedi. I've ranted about that many, many times. But I've enjoyed stuff after that. I really enjoyed Rogue One. Now, that was Disney. Disney did that one. The Force Awakens, I was like, it's a very blatant retelling of the first movie from 1977, but okay, all right. Then yeah, with the Last Jedi, I was like, oh no, this is horrible. But then so the movies I'm not excited about. And then the show, the Mandalorian came on. The Mandalorian, the first 2 seasons were outstanding. Third one, I really lost me by having cameos with Jack Black and Lizzo and Tim Meadows. That really, really abruptly takes you out of the out of the story, out of the Star Wars universe, when you're seeing stuff like that. Christopher Lloyd, you know. But, you know. Eh. Paul says, have you been to the Oregon Ghost Convention, April 17th? I have not. Has anybody been there? I certainly don't live anywhere near the Oregon, Oregon, but no, have not been there. Hey there, Ava, how you doing today? Is Ava on here with us? Sometimes she is, sometimes she isn't. Sometimes she pops up on Facebook, sometimes YouTube. So I don't happen to see her unless I missed her. So she had some surgery on her hand today, a little procedure that I had to take her down to the Pittsburgh area. So doing fine, just taking her painkillers. Had some more. Oh, there she is. LOL, I'm here. She says she is there on YouTube. Hey, baby. She gave a little heart there. So hope your hand's doing well. Coast to Coast AM talk about it. What, the Oregon Ghost Convention? No, I've never heard of that. Christopher Lee met J.R.R. Tolkien, Stephanie says. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Ava says, I heard my name. Yes, Paul was asking, how are you doing today? SBC says, Manos plus Star Wars, LOL. That's quite a combo. So I've got the edition of the haunted house. I've got a third escape room. I've got a display haunt, which is different than, it's going to be different than just a regular haunt. The regular haunt will be with the actors, of course. A display haunt will have a certain degree of interaction, and I want to say that mostly like maybe a light tripping on with some sound onto a prop, or maybe an animatronic. And so you can, the kids love that store. The kids love that store, and they grab their parents and they drag them into the store. They want something out of there. They're gravitating toward that store. They see the castle look of Jack Shadow's House of Terror behind the counter. They see the spooky looking witch house and the zombie wall, and it's eye catching. It is eye catching. Obviously, it's meant to be, but they see the toys, the little monster toys. But I need more for them. I need stuff specifically for them. So that's what I'm looking to do. Bonus says, hope you get the feeling good as new as soon as possible, Miss Ava. Yes. Definitely. Thank you for that, Bonehead. Ava says, I'm doing okay. Tired from the pain meds that aren't working. Ah, no. Well, hopefully you'll be out of that soon. Hopefully just a few days of that. Ava says, thanks, Bonehead. Hi, Stephanie. Brett says, good evening. Hey, Brett, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Good holiday. Easter Sunday. Paul says, hey there, Ava. Try 4 Loco. You won't need pain pills. Love you, sis. Maybe so. Maybe so. I don't know. And here's another thing. Maybe, possibly, maybe we'll be able to revive, some form of Chiller Night Theater. I could see that if that were to occur. Maybe a late summer type of something or other. So that's a possibility. I got a lot going on, but I'll try to work on that as well. Maybe we can throw some of that in there as well. So be a nice busy year. Like I don't get those enough, but you know, why not? Why not? Let's see what we can do. SBC says, Ava Hogue, did you get the hand to hook pirate conversion? Oh, geez. But it says, I get those super Tylenol with the caffeine in them, and they really work good. They're only like $5 a bottle, but they work wonders. You know, it's weird with me. I rarely ever take any Tylenol or Advil or ibuprofen. I rarely. I mean, almost never take any of that. But obviously, if you had when I had my shoulder surgery for rotary cuff, I absolutely took everything they gave me. It wasn't even my shoulder that was hurting me. It was bothering. I was hurting, but it wasn't bothering me that bad. When I had my left shoulder worked on, I didn't even take. The only pain medicine I took was what they gave me in the hospital the day of the procedure. After I didn't even take anything after that. I didn't. But I even ripped my stitches out accidentally because like it might have been like the second day I was trying to change a light bulb. This is stupid. Yeah. That was back in June of 2001. That's how long ago that one was. Then my other shoulder I had done in November of 2022. So a lot more recent. Brad says, I watched WWE WrestleMania 41 this weekend. It was awesome. Not as awesome as the horror films Dracula and Frankenstein coming to the public domain in 2027. Now that's awesome. Yes, that is awesome. Very much so. I'm glad you enjoyed your WrestleMania 41, and certainly glad that you are looking forward to Dracula and Frankenstein from Universal's coming to the public domain, where horror host will get to present these classic chillers to you. Deborah, hey Deborah, thanks for joining us. Deborah says, good evening, chiller thrillers. Good evening, Deborah. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you with us tonight. Ava says, SB, I can still stir mashed potatoes with my little fingers. LOL. Oh, geez, I remember that skit. What was it? Trying to think of the guy's name. Brett says, hello, Brian. Hey, Brett. Thanks for joining us. Paul says, Lady Frankenstein, I mean. Oh, yeah, I watched Stream TV Frankenstein, Lady Frankenstein, great movies this weekend. Yeah, Lady Frankenstein was the 9 o'clock movie. So, and we had The Brain That Wouldn't Die. We had, what else we have? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank there, but I am, apparently. So, John says, question, if a Funko Pop of Jack could be made, would you approve of it? I would, as long as I could benefit from it as well as approve it. I would approve of it if I could benefit from it. Yeah. Patty says, which Lady Frankenstein, edited or full? I edit the movies, so it did go through a little pixelation, selective pixelation in spots. Bonin says, rip stitches out. That definitely sounds painful. Yeah, I had to go get it restitched. I still didn't take any pain medicine though. But when I had the surgery done in November, it wasn't even my shoulder that was bothering me. It was my bicep. They had to reattach all this stuff in my bicep, and that's the part that was painful, very painful. So I was gobbling that stuff up as soon as I could get it. And that's not like me. That's not very common that I do that. The Rip Stitches, my new band. Sounds like a nice 80s garage band. Snake People. That's it. Okay, yes, the Snake People. Roderick says, hello, Brian and Ava. Rod and Annette Fee watching tonight. We miss you too. Hey, Rod, thanks for joining us. You and Annette. And did you guys go to They have it yet? I think they had it. The Butler Paranormal Conference, wasn't that? I know Brian Seach had posted something on my page about going to that. He said I should go to that. I don't know if that was, or maybe that's this coming weekend. I remember going to that some years ago, the Paranormal Conference in Lindora, and is that the one that he was referring to? Maybe not, but I know that I've seen you guys there at these conferences before, so I didn't know if you guys were going. And of course, you and Annette have been on Chiller Chat several times, so always appreciate that. Hope both of you are doing well. Hope you had a good Easter. Um, SPC says Scary Movie Part 2. What is that? What is that? Something you've seen recently? I must, maybe I missed something here. I might have missed your first comment. I know there's a big delay here, so bear with me. But it says Ness Castle After Dark just showed Mark of the Vampire with Willem Dafoe. It was awesome. Cool. Paul says, hey there, Stephanie, how you doing? Brad says, so how about all those new movies for Chiller Night Tuesday late in the summer, Brian? Got a bunch to choose from. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Patty says, heard Fright Night is getting a Roku channel. Fright Night is. What's that going to be? Just a bunch of horror movies, or what's that? I'd like Chiller Night to get one. That would be pretty cool. Brett says, I'm off, people. Bye all. Hey, Brett. All right. Have a good night. We'll see you later. Let's see. New messages here. Here we go. Ava says, hi, Rod and Annette. SB, yes, Scary Movie. That scene was so funny. Oh, yeah, with the little hands. Okay, got it. Roderick says, I think it's coming up on May 9th, but I'll be working at the haunted Hinsdale house in New York. Oh, really? That's cool. Oh, that sounds fun. Interesting. Anyways, Stan says, good evening. Good evening, Stan. Thanks for joining us. Rod says, hello, Ava. I hope you're feeling better soon. The older we get, the longer to heal. Bonus says, Newcastle After Dark. Autocorrect got me again. Sorry. Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there. Ness Castle After Dark. Good evening, Stan. Welcome to Chiller Night Crew. Yes, good evening, Stan. We talk about all things horror, science fiction, paranormal, whatever. Generally, you throw a topic out, we'll make a show out of it. Just kind of reminisce and talk about our own experiences with these things, or our own trip down monster memory lane. A lot of this is nostalgic, because of the kind of the theme, the chiller theme. We are talking and remembering the old monster movies and sci-fi, classic and not so classic chillers of yesteryear. So don't always have to be that. We can. Sometimes we do happen to trail off on things that are non-chiller related, and that's okay. That's okay. Fright Night was a show on USA Network that showed horror, schlock, and music videos. Patty says, okay. They're getting a Roku channel, huh? Interesting. Have you ever, SBC says, have you ever thought about a dark haunted house where people have to walk through the dark? It's certainly easier and cheaper to build. Well, we have had in the past. We've had, like, if Halloween falls on a Friday night, for example, and November 1st is a Saturday night, which is the case for this year, it's something I have considered, because I've done this in the past, a certain night called Dark Out. And what you do is you give everybody a glow stick, and they walk through it with just a glow stick and no lights on. That's something different. Although I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind whether I'm going to do that or not. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I have done that in the past, where you don't have any lights on at all. You just have the glow stick illuminating. It's different. It really is. Um, Paul says, do you think you will bring the show back, please? And what other station plays Chiller Night, 11:59 Saturday night? Well, the station in New York that was playing it, gosh, what was that? Now I feel kind of bad because I've drawn a blank because I told them that I wasn't able to continue sending them the episodes just because I had no time to edit out commercials. With Stream TV, like, I worked with them so long, like I have an agreement with them, an arrangement with them. But if you're sending to a lot of other stations, some of them don't want that the ad content, or you can mention a sponsor, but maybe not put an ad in there. And that's generally the station's policy. So I just didn't have time to. I sent them a certain amount of episodes, and then after I got to a certain point, I was like, okay, I am not going to, not just, not in a defiant way, but just because of a lack of time, I just cannot sit here, re-edit these shows, and get a new file sent out to you. So, understanding, of course, and New York 48. I think that was it. New York 48 was the streaming channel in New York. D says, I caught Werewolf TV series from 1987 this week. Oh, did you? All right. Very cool. I was watching the first episode probably about a year and a half ago. And I don't think I completed the entire, because the pilot episode was like maybe an hour long or something like that. I think. I don't really remember. I just remember something came up, something shiny distracted me. I didn't finish it. But I remember I was so excited about that show. And I watched it every week that it was on. So, Patty says, I watch the older Chiller Night shows on YouTube. Yeah, we do. We have plenty on YouTube. But we will be, I am going to try to bring new Chiller Night Theater shows to you probably late summer. I've got to get stuff built. I've got to get stuff hooked up. I've got to get things changed. I've got a lot to do. So maybe I'll be able to get new stuff up by late summer. So as long as you guys would like to see that, I will make that a goal. Let's see here. Oh, Rod says I'm the lead investigator at the Hinsdale house. It's crazy. It's crazy, actively haunted. You two should come up for an overnight ghost hunt with me sometime. Oh, okay. Where is that at? I'll have to see. Let's see where that's at. Although I mean, possibly. I'd probably have to really plan in advance, just because I've actually had to, and I feel bad. I've had to turn down a couple things that I was asked to do this here recently. Oh, here we go. Hinsdale, New York. That's not too bad. It's like 3 hours, a little under 2 hours and 40 minutes away from my location. Huh. That's pretty cool. I've never been there. I'm not familiar with that. That's pretty cool that you'll be investigating that. And that reminds me, because I had you guys on Chiller Chat a couple times, and that's something I would like to bring back at some point. Is Chiller Chat. Ava says, that sounds fun, Rod. Yeah, it does. Stephanie says, next week I'm celebrating halfway to Halloween. Oh, is it really? Is it really? Patty says, werewolf. Have you ever seen She-Wolf of London TV series? I never have. I've never even heard of that. She-Wolf of London TV series. I've never heard of a TV series of that. No. Ava says, D, is that a good series? Oh, and D says, New York 48 WWON TV. Thank you, D. I drawn a blank, and I'd have to open up a file that had their logo and stuff on it. That's cool. Thank you, D. I appreciate that. And then D answers Ava and saying, it certainly has that 80s feel. I need to give it more than one episode for a final verdict. Yeah. Yeah. Werewolf. Yeah, you gotta be in an 80s mood. You know? Paul says, guys, I have to go. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Love you, family, and stay safe. There, get well soon, Ava. Love you, family. All right, Paul. Well, you have a good night. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you again. Melanie says, went through the old Baseline Hospital, haunted hospital, before they tore it down. You came out through the morgue, mad doctors, nurses, zombie patients. Last haunted house I went through. Miss Chiller Theater. Ah! Interesting, interesting. Well, thank you, Melanie, for joining us. Yes, Miss Chiller Theater. I miss Chiller Theater as well. Of course, that's been the inspiration for everything that I'm doing, and I did know Chilly Billy, who was certainly very supportive of what I was doing in my show and keeping that chiller spirit alive. And I would like to continue to keep that spirit alive. So we'll try to get more chiller night theaters going on this summer. I don't know. I think we could do it. Ava says, thanks, Paul, and have a wonderful night. Tom says, see you, Paul. Take care. Everyone's saying goodbye to Paul. Rod says, SB, it's a pretty famous haunted location going back into the 1970s. It's located in Hinsdale, New York. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Google Haunted House, Hinsdale House, and you can read all about the house. That's really cool. But it says, Brian, I'm just happy as a pig in the mud that you're still doing this Chiller Chat pre-show for us. Thanks for being here every week with the most fun and enjoyable show on YouTube. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. I know that there was a point to where I wasn't sure when Jack retired from hosting the show. I was like, does it make sense to continue? I wasn't sure about continuing with the show, but I did want to keep it going. Because I enjoy this. I think this is fun. And so I said, well, as long as we're kind of alter the name a little bit so it's not really the pre-show. Yep. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. Tom says, never watch Manos. Good advice. Yes. Hopefully Paul is not rushing off right now, leaving us early to go watch Manos. Kind of person would do that. Brian. Rod says, yes, we would love to come back and share more with you and your viewers. A lot more to talk about since our last visit. That'd be neat. Yeah, I would like to. I am. As I said, I've been talking to you guys about reviving a version of Chiller Night Theater. So maybe I can do the same for Chiller Chat. We'll see. That'd be kind of cool. After I get everything already, finally constructed and built and set up and hooked up, and that'd be nice. Al says, I remember She-Wolf of London. It was in the 90s. The series? Maybe that's what she was referring to. John says the Sci-Fi Channel played the She-Wolf series back in the day when the network was still cool. Oh yeah, is it not? Is it not cool anymore? I haven't watched the Sci-Fi Channel in so long. We have it. I remember I scrolled past it. So apparently at some point I just didn't think it was all that cool anymore. So Raymond says hi all. Hey Raymond, thanks for joining us. Hello, hello Raymond. Bill, Brad says if you're going to start Chiller Night Tuesday in late summer, you should really have all the new movies under the premiere of Dracula and Frankenstein coming to January 2027. What do you think of that? I don't know. We'll see. That's quite a bit to commit to, but you never know. You never know. That's all I can say for now. We'll see. Neat idea, though. SBC says, Roderick, that's cool. My dad has a house in Passau, Germany, where I once experienced something spooky. Interesting, interesting. Let's see. I'll try to. I'm skipping a few of these. I'm trying not to jump too far ahead. So if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep up a little bit. Patty says, I grew up in a haunted house. Only one sister believed me since the ghost played tricks on her. Tricks? Imagine that says tricks instead of trucks on her. Tom says, I was one played tricks on someone. Yeah. Stephanie says, sometimes I feel like my workplace is haunted. Bonus says, everyone please say hello and send best wishes to Glamfangs. I hope that'll make a sweet spider smile. Yes, best wishes to Glamfangs. Glam, we do miss you. And you never know, maybe one of these days, not anytime soon, but maybe one day, we can do something like this on Saturdays again. I don't know. But whether we can or cannot, we do send you best wishes and salutations. Dee says, I haven't been anywhere haunted in so long, years. Roderick says, maybe a Chiller Chat revival after the Halloween season. That's very possible. That's very possible because by then I'll have everything, or at least the goal is to have everything up and constructed and functionable. And then once I get that done, I thought I was done last year, but I just go in there and like, I got more room here. I could do this and this. I can't walk through there without changing things in my head. So, but I think the space wise in the store will be completely utilized at that point. I won't be able to build that anymore once I do that. So that's a very real possibility. After Halloween, after the haunt season's done, Sorry, not trucks, tricks. Patty says yes. Brad says, I mean, when you have time, Brian, I know you can be really busy with the chiller store and the haunted houses. Yeah, well, we'll try. That's what I'm here for. So, just to fit as much chiller into my life and yours as possible. John says, fun fact, NACA, they have some neat stuff. NACA is releasing for the 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws a new series of figures, dioramas, and the Jaws game. The game is based on the original game, but for the anniversary... Oh, I saw that! I did see that. And I saw their version of it that you're referring to. But for the anniversary edition, various parts from the movie are included, and a realistic version of Bruce the Shark will be added. Yeah, I did see that. They were kind of putting them... I saw a picture of it. It's like side by side. That's pretty neat. Yeah, check that out if you like it. That was kind of a nostalgic thing. That's pretty neat that they're doing that. 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws. I take it we're coming up on the 50th anniversary this summer? That'd be cool. D says, any prospects on mall buyers? Unfortunately, not at this time. Not at this time. They were all set. You know, I guess with that, you know, not like any of this is top secret, but I mean, there was a potential buyer, and they were days. It was either the day or within a day or two that they were going to sign us over to a place who really wanted it, and had they already have stores that were going to launch in there immediately, and fixed the roof in the parking lot and everything. You know, they had engineers in there inspecting the place. The place is actually very well built and still holds up very, very well. Structurally, it's very sound. Yeah, they were very interested in it. Did a lot of got a lot of estimates and had a lot of things done. And I mean, all that was needed fell through. So just that's what I don't like about you get these people out, you know, out in California, these owners that just want to, you know, hold on to. I don't even know what they're doing. Honestly, when you get people that far away who have no investment, they don't care. Where that could have really revived that mall with these new owners, and everyone was very excited about it. The people who knew about it, because they have a history of reviving malls. That's what they specifically do. And that was, I'm just so, it makes me sick, to be quite honest, that didn't go through. These people they won't budge a penny. They won't work, you know, even though all that work that's going to be needed done takes a lot of money, and they should have worked with them. But that's the answer to that, unfortunately, and nobody else is probably going to tolerate dealing with these people who have it now. Stephanie says, I'll alert my mother about the Jaws anniversary. She loves that movie. Cool. Patty says, stay safe all. All right, you too, Patty. Oh, what time is it? We're getting there. It's almost 9. Dee says, it's a shame. I remember it in all of its glory with the fountain and the greeneries and the dark brown glossy bricks and the bench's history. Yeah, me too. That's what made me so sick about it, because these people were willing to come in and like totally redo that and bring all that back. And they had I think like 7 stores right off the bat that they were going to bring in with them upon signing. It was the week between Christmas and Easter. That week, you know, really long week. Christmas and New Year's. It was one of those days that week that was supposed to all be taken care of, signed over, and I was highly anticipating that, because, you know, when I do my, you know, my live videos, I stopped doing them because it's like I have leaks in my ceiling in my store, and so that's causing my tiles to just collapse, you know. And so that looks horrible. It looks horrible. I know they say they're fixing it this week. They've gone up and made several attempts to fix it. So I don't know anything about roofing. I'm not real sure that the current roofers do. I don't know. But I don't know how much is involved in that, because, again, I say I'm not a roofer. So, but then I don't claim to be either. Get up there and get paid for something I'm not doing. Kristen says, hey, Kristen, thanks for joining us. I still have a few Aladdin's Castle tokens I'm holding on to use someday. Oh, is that right? Very cool. I remember Aladdin's Castle very well. Very well. Bonehead says, Glenn Fangs and Tom Paisley are the original Chiller Night crew, and we still got Tom, and we miss Glam, but hopefully one day she'll get to have a Saturday night show and she could be there. Yeah, that'd be nice. Brad says, is Cranberry Mall in Venango for sale, Brian? It is, but you'll have to deal with these undealable folks from California who own it currently. Ava says it's still for sale. D says if I was made of money, I'd buy it just for the nostalgic sake. So I've often thought of that. Like that would be cool. But no one's going to have much success with these current owners, unfortunately. They're unreasonable, totally unreasonable. That would have at least, a shopping mall that people wanted to get and had. And if you look at the prospective owners who were very interested, and now they don't want. Now they're not. They were like, we're not dealing with these people. Why would they? But they had big plans for that place, and they do that. They revive, and they had, like I say, at least 7 new stores to bring in right away. Imagine that place like redone, pressure washed or painted, and the parking lot all done, the ceiling done. That's what they needed, and that would have brought at least jobs back to that area. Not high-paying jobs, but at least added to a little pulse in the area. Right across the street, they're building new stores, shopping department stores and stuff like that. But it's not the area. It's just the current owners. Ava says we need to win Mad Mall money. Yes, we do. We need some mall money. John says, once again, we come to the end of an episode of Chiller Night Live for now. But rest assured that we will be back. Oh, yes. And with our host, Bryan Hogue, again, with a new show and subject. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you to watch horror movies and keep America strong. Until next week, stay chilled and keep thrilled. All right, John, thank you always for your little intros and your conclusions. D says, Ava Hogue, yes. Bob says, hey, Hoagie. Hey, Bob. Thanks for joining us. Well, for another 2 minutes or a minute and a half, anyways. Tom says, good night, all you chiller maniacs. See you next week. All right, Tom. Take care. Much of that roof needs repaired at the mall, Bob says. Yeah, and they were going to do it. The new people from Georgia wanted to come in and get that all fixed, and they had all the estimates. Everything was rip-roaring ready to go. All it needed was a signature on the dotted line, and the current owners put a nixnay on that at the last minute, so as they tend to do. Parking lot needs, the parking lot, the roof. They were going to fix all that. They had estimates. They had spent all last summer and into the fall, and they were having stuff switched over, and it was so close. But the idiots in California said no at the last minute. So Deborah says, good night, thrillers. Good night, Deborah. D says, honestly, my guess is the current owners want to keep it as a loss write-off. Yeah, and unfortunately, that doesn't help the community. It doesn't help, people who, like you and I and Ava and all these people who love that mall, have the great memories of that mall and could have had, again, memories to add. Night, Bryan and Ava. Deborah says, good night, Deborah. Good seeing you on here. Ava says, correct, D. Yes. Brad says, hopefully the Cranberry Mall will come back to better days. I really had my hopes up, and so did a lot of people. But like I said, those geniuses in California put an end to that. They like their pennies. Good night, everyone. Al says, good night, Al. Thanks for joining us. SBC says, stay happy and healthy, everyone. See you next week. All right, you too, SBC. Thanks. Ava says, have a good night, everyone. Yes. Oh, it is 9 o'clock. Rod says, it was nice to see you, Bryan. Everyone have a good chiller night. Or everyone have a chiller good night. Yes, you too, Rod, as well. And Annette, thanks for joining us tonight. So yes, everyone, thank you for joining me and each other for another Chiller Night Live. Have a good night. Have a good chiller night. We'll see you next week.